Hello there, thanks for turning on the video today. My name's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com, and today I'm going to share with you another very simple Christmas card, another one that you could do in batches, one that maybe just again shows my wee sense of humour. Sorry, I'm just sorting the camera just now. I'll pan it out just a wee bit. So this is the card that I've come on to show you. So a couple of weeks ago I was, whoops, it's struggling to focus today. I was at a company event with Stampin' Up. I was there for 2 days. The first day was our on stage, which is a corporate event, which was absolutely fun. Got lots of freebies, spoke to lots of people. Day 2 was spent with a larger team that I'm part of. My manager's manager, or that's a big mouthful, my manager's manager organised the day for us, helped by another team manager. So as part of that day, she set us a crafting challenge. She very generously, gave us all a half-full stamp set. This stamp set. I'm going to try and just pan out to see if you see a bit better. Okay, so she gave us this beautiful stamp set, and as I'm a lover of wine, I was delighted to receive that. Although I already had this set at home, because being a wine drinker, it jumped out to me in the catalogue when the catalogue first came out. So if after this video you pop on over to my Facebook page, I'll put the link below the video. I am planning to set a challenge where you may be able to win the set. It was slightly used because I did use a couple of stamps from it at the retreat, but it is still in perfect working order. So if, after this video, have a wee look over. I will set a challenge. It will have to have a certain amount of participants before the prize is drawn. But anyway, you can read all about that later. Okay. So, without more ado, let's have a look at the card that we've made with this set. So, this is what I did on the day. What happened was she gave us the stamp set, some card, and some ink, and a fine tip glue pen, so that she could show us the technique of applying the glue on top of your stamping, and it gives a nice glossy effect. I'm not sure that really shows up in the light today. In fact, the sun's just decided to come out, which I'm usually delighted, but I'm actually maybe going to have to close the blind. We'll see what happens. Just let's keep going just now. So I'm not going to do a full card today on this video. What I'm going to do is just show you the technique of what we did, how I arrived at this card. A lot of my teammates actually made several cards during this. I think we had more than an hour to create, but I only created one card. There's quite a lot of work in this card, but also I was too busy chatting to old friends and making new friends. So I had sat at the table I sat between someone I'd never met before and someone that I've met a couple of times. So it was really good to chat together and compare our stamping experiences. So anyway, so to make this card, what you would need is half a sheet of Razzle Dazzle. No, it's not. It's not Razzle Dazzle. It's Rich Razzleberry. I've got my Jazzles and my Razzles all mixed up. It's Rich Razzleberry card that I've used, and I've cut that long ways, cut it in half long ways down the middle. and then folded it, and that gives you this style of card. I have a piece of Whisper White, which is 9.7 centimetres by 14 centimetres. You can change that to inches if you want to, and I will be mounting that, or mat and layer that, onto a piece of basic black card, which is 10.1 centimetres by 14.4 centimetres. So you see they layer up quite nicely, and just the black frame just pops this. So what I've done is I've already mounted the stamp. Now, because also what she gave us, I'm a bit muddled up today, but she also gave us a blender pen. I'm really struggling with the focus here. Come on. Camera's just not playing with me today. That's better. Here we go. So she gave us one of our blender pens for colouring, and there are various options. You could use watercolour, the aqua painters. I think I might have one just close by. The aqua painters are in the catalogue, and you could use them with our inks. The other thing that wasn't there on the day, but I do like to use with my inks if I'm doing as a watercolour effect, is to use the Wink of Stella, because that gives your work a wee bit of a sparkle. But today I'm going to use the blender pen. Okay, so the first thing obviously is to stamp with the Memento, the Tuxedo Black. Now, we used Memento for this because once it's dry, it doesn't bleed the colour. You know, it contains the colour, and it doesn't bleed into the colour that you're using. When you're using anything that's water-based and you're going to colour in, probably best stamping with Memento. Tuxedo Black is very good for that. Tried and tested. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp. Before I do, actually, I'm doing everything back to front here, but that's just me. I decided to have the greeting just slightly to the side. So there we go. Merry Christmas. So what a lovely font it is. So this stamp set was actually designed by an American demonstrator who reached a huge big milestone in her sales, I think equivalent to have in her career of having sold £1 million worth of product. Just making sure of nothing on the outside here. So basically this is how I came to my design. I just did a kind of like a clock face type of style. With all the bottles, whoops, never inked that very well, but never mind. With all the bottles facing in towards the centre, I get this effect. And then I took the wee bits of holly just to maybe want that round the right way, don't we? Just to give it a bit of the Christmas here. That's plenty. I think this is just enough to show us that we've got a bit of Christmas here. So I'll put the Memento out of the way. I would normally leave that just to dry just for a few minutes, probably just go fill my coffee cup or something like that. Now, then I'm going to, the way to get your ink is to squeeze, if you squeeze your ink pad, because it's foam like that, a little bit, and then when you open up, I've kind of overdone this, but you've got a palette. What a mess, but hey, I think that ink had spilt a bit, and it's a bit, anyway, so I'm just making sure that there's no other, just make sure there's no other colours on the blender pen, just on some scrap paper, just, and then pick up the colour with your blending pen. You can just, so when you first pick up the colour, if you do the bits that you want to be darker, and then slowly the ink will lighten as you go. I probably picked up just a bit much colour there, but I can blend it out a wee bit with the pen. I stuck with the two colours, Rich Razzleberry and So Saffron, in my first card, because I quite like working with a tight palette, and it just shows you that you don't have to have a huge amount of supplies to make a nice card. Again, I used the Rich Razzleberry on the Holly Berries. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, what I'll do is I'll do some colouring on this bottle here, and then I'll show you the technique that I used with the glue. So we'll just kind of and the lady, I'm sorry, but I don't remember the name of the lady who designed this. If I remember, I'll certainly look it up and put it on my blog. But she has made this stamp set very personal, and you see it's got a 1975 vintage, which was in fact the year that the lady and her late husband were married. So that's kind of, you know, obviously a very personal memory for her, and made her stamp set that she's designed very personal. So there, I just kind of coloured the wine in it. Obviously, you know, you've got better things to do with your time than watch me colouring in, and I'm sure, you know, you can take more time over that. I'm really just trying to get to the stage where I can show you the technique with the glue. So again, I'll give this a squeeze just to get some ink into my palette. Just clearing off the blender pen again, and then just picking up. I'm using the other end because I kind of use one end for light colours and the other one for dark colours, just to save any contamination, and that really works quite well for me. So I'm using the So Saffron on the lid. I mean, this is a bit of a fantasy bottle because, as you're probably well aware, most red wines are bottled in green glass bottles, but maybe I bottled this one myself in a clear. You do, you know, if you make your own wines at home, then maybe you bottle them in clear glass. And then I just used the So Saffron for the leaves on the holly, because you do get golden holly. Right, so we've done the ink again. I would probably give it a little while to dry. I'm not going to, this is not going to be a complete card today, it's really just to show you the technique. Now the glue pen is really clever, it's really, I've had this for almost 2 years now, and it still works almost every time. So it's got this pin in the lid which goes into the nozzle of the pen. Now this isn't going to be easy to do on video, so I'm going to do my best. I just need to, and plus to stop you getting total white out, I'm working in I've got no lights on and it's quite dark for me, and I've not got great eyesight, so let's do our best here. So what I do is I line the glue around the outline of the piece. Just very thinly outline that part, because this will dry first. Now this glue pen doesn't take too long to dry, but it does take some time. I would, want to leave it for at least half an hour, and then kind of put some in the inside. But just take your time. Sometimes it works better just use. I'm squeezing very gently, very, very gently. Just take your time. Within the outline that you put there. And again, just this little triangle, so we're basically going to make there. And I thought maybe just a little bit of gloss on the berries. Okay, and that basically you would just go around your whole, whatever you've stamped. Obviously you can do different designs to that. There's, in the stamp set, look, there's wine glasses, a huge big wine glass, and then there's a row of little ones. And the sentiments in this set are fabulous. The best wines are the ones we drink with friends. How true, how true. May your glass always be half full. And it says, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, and the punchline to that is, but if the white runs out, I'll drink the red. Well, for me it's the other way around, but hey, that's a fun sentiment. And on the bottle, on the label, it says, a glass of wine makes life divine. In moderation, I guess. This tag is excellent, and it does work with our tag topper punch. So I'm going to make some of these because I will be giving wine as Christmas presents this year. So wine improves with age, we improve with wine. Anyway, thanks for that. I'm actually going to make a batch of these cards because I've got quite a lot of friends that will appreciate this red wine card, and some will get some of them will get white wine. So I'm sure I've sparked you off with a really good idea here. It really does, it's not showing up very well on the video, but it really does give a nice, a wee idea that it's possibly glass. It gives it a gloss. Okay, so thanks for staying with me. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and also pop over to my Facebook page. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I will be putting a challenge on to so that you can win the stamp set, which is partly used surplus to my requirements. Okay, thank you.